Hello everyone, welcome to Fearfully Greedy. So what happened? Well, I own a Lithuanian company linked to an oligarch and Russia. I want this video to lack any political message, because I'm not here for that. I can't just state how bad the Russian government sits in my books. So my thoughts go to everyone suffering from the terrible situation they are in, and I hope things improve as soon as possible. I'm just stuck owning this, which I'd be happy to be stuck with if nothing had happened. My gut feeling is telling me this probably will be my first zero or close to a zero in the portfolio. That's my thinking as of now. First, a quick update on the portfolio. Quick because I haven't bought anything. As you see, same amount of shares, no deposits, no buys, no sells. I'm currently sitting with 25,850 euros with a small gain of 1,200 euros or around 5%. Remember, you can always track my portfolio live in the Google Sheet linked in the description. These and all my videos are not to be considered financial advice. Please consult a professional or do your own research before investing. I also do own shares of Inter Rao Letuva. Okay, so I found this company, this very little company in Lithuania. It distributes energy, and I saw it has ridiculous returns on equity, capital, and any sort of return you can find. And it was trading at I don't know, 10 times earnings more or less, depending on the year. I started getting a position since November 2020 until January 2021, and I just held the shares because I thought they were still undervalued. This is the current position, 500 shares. I'm currently running a loss because they stopped trading. We will discuss that. And I only have 1 year dividends. I should receive my new dividends for this year pretty soon, which will be a bit more than this amount. So this company, Inter Rao Letuva, of course, I liked it. I knew it was linked to Russia, and I did some digging to see where exactly how it would be linked. This had little value. I had no, I don't know, very big negative ideas of Russia. I would invest there for similar reasons. I would be hesitant to invest in China, but not much else. I know a few Russians and I honestly like them, so I think I don't have anything bad about them. So for Inter Rao Lietuva, 51% of the stock is owned by Rao Nordic Oy, right? Rao Nordic Oy is a Nordic company which is based in Helsinki, and it's checking their reports. It also says there that it owns 51% of Lietuva. Then this company is owned by Inter Rao, yes, the big conglomerate energy business in Russia. I wanted to make sure, so I checked the reports, 100% ownership of that company. Of course, it would have no value until Putin invaded Ukraine. So then it comes to being something very important, it looks like. But to simplify it, since Inter Rao WSE owns 100% of Rao Nordic and this one owns 51% of Inter Rao Lietuva, in a sense, 51% of Inter Rao Letuva is owned by Inter Rao WSE. So some news came from Inter Rao, not a lot of news, not major changes, just news fighting a bit the current situation. First news we see is that two people on the supervisory board of Inter Rao Letuva left their chair, right? And they had been there for a long time, and they decided very close to the date of the start of the war that they didn't want to be sitting on that board. Then, next up, there was some mass media in Lithuania saying that some funds were frozen for Inter Rao Letuva. Then the same company, what they said is that they had no information of the funds being frozen and no restrictions or no penalties undermining or threatening the territory integrities or any independence of Ukraine. They are not aware of anything, and they contacted, this time already, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Lithuania. Next up, what we see is a suspension of trading, right? That is already on the 18th because the stock was falling like brick, right, to the floor. So just to protect everyone, they stopped trading. So at the moment, I cannot sell shares, I cannot buy shares, I cannot do anything about it. I checked some of the media, and of course, Inter Rao Letuva had a market share of 10% of all the electricity sold in Lithuania. And what everyone is saying is, well, that if Inter Rao Letuva has to exit their business completely, someone would take advantage of it. It's also linked to Shane. I cannot pronounce the name, but he's an oligarch in Russia. He sits in the board in the mother company. So that's mostly what everything is coming. Next up, what happened is there was some comments by mass media that some institutions, mainly government and military, were looking into terminating the agreements with Inter Rao Lietuva for the energy they were acquiring from them. What Inter Rao says is that they are not aware of any of that, that they have been fulfilling its obligations as a Lithuanian company, as an energy provider. They have not stopped procuring and getting the energy to their clients, and that's as much as they can say. Of course, they again apply it to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Republic of Lithuania, since they are a Lithuanian company and they want to follow a bit the rules and see what's happening. The next ones that we will see is that they approved the accounts for the last year, and we see a big increase in sales. We already covered this in some of my previous videos, but something that came in mind is that I don't know for sure because they never disclose this, but they say that a single customer is exceeding 10% of the group revenues, and it's 270 million, right? So someone is doing like 70, 80% of the revenues. If that's a government and they have to pull their contract, we're a bit screwed here. I'm not gonna lie. But I wanted to bring this up because I saw it on the previous report and I said, okay, just a good client. But the current situation, this could be very important. The last news that we see is Polish Power Exchange. TGE has kind of forbidden the subsidiary of Inter Rao Letuva. They had a subsidiary there to sell and buy energy in the Polish market. They suspended the operation of the subsidiary, got forced to do so following those notes. They did stop trading and they suspended the operations of the subsidiary in Poland. Again, they went to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Lithuania to see what was happening. Of course, there's a link to Russia. I understand that. At the end of the video, I will give you my thoughts on maybe what I'd like to see happening. But maybe I'm too hopeful to really understand what Inter Rao Letuva is doing. Mainly, they have first thing that they do is that they get imports of energy from Russia, Belarus, Latvia, and Estonia, and then Lietuva is forced to sell to the internal market on the power exchange. Then they have to buy this energy at the same price as they sold it, so it's a buy-sell automatic thing, to distribute to customers. This has to be the same amount they have to distribute to their customers. And these customers pay under contractual agreements, be it a fixed amount, like it depends on each contract. That's how they make money, right? So they get the energy from Russia, they sell it on the market, and they buy it again. And the difference on the price, that's their profit. Then the third thing is that they operate one of Lithuania's largest wind parks. This is not substantially a big operation for them, but it's one of the biggest there and it's a good operation. I think it's very good for Lithuania to have this park there. So the energy they produce, they sell it on the market as they would do before. My thoughts. I think Inter Rao Letuva is and was very positive for Lithuania. Right? I think they are net positive for the country and they were providing a service and getting a small margin for how much energy they were selling and providing to their customers. So I don't think they were doing anything bad in Lithuania. As things are, I understand that the political situation, there's some like cancel culture, like now anything with a hint of Russia is very bad, all Russians are bad, or that's the idea we were getting implied in the media and the news. I think everyone is suffering a bit. I don't want to focus on the war because it's not it's not why I'm here, okay? But I would understand more for a Lithuanian company that buys energy in Russia, instead of trying to put it in the media and say that they are very bad and ask everyone to just take up their contracts and all, why not just ban them from buying Russian energy? or Belarus energy, and then let them operate on the same rules that all the other Lithuanian companies have. Because, okay, I understand there's an oligarch that which is very linked to this company in a way. It has very little to do with the local operations, but it's linked to it. But okay, there are small shareholders here. Lithuanian people, European people, of course Russian people also, but no one that did anything bad for the small shareholders. I'm guessing, not in the sense of whatever Shane did is not my area of expertise, and I don't know, but banning a company that he owns that operates in Lithuania, that he has some ownership there, I don't know, I don't see it very fit. So I would say that the ban on Russian imports would be more fitting in this set, and they could operate with the Russian ban. I'm not sure what the margins would be if they could keep the operations as they are or not, but they could buy from other countries, right? Same way as they were doing from Russia, probably at a different price. I don't know for sure. Then for my situation is that I'm forced to hold as the stock has stopped trading. I think if things normalize somewhat I don't mean back to normal, but back to buying energy in Russia, that is in the scope of possibilities as the world I hope eventually resumes, but they could buy it from other countries. If Inter Rao Letuva is allowed to operate in some way, I would hold until I know the new margins or the new business developments to make a judgment at that point. But if there's a full ban or exit, of course, I will try to exit the position unless it is sitting at a even lower than cash and assets. At that point, I will wait and take my loss on the chin while I wait for possible distributions. Okay, so those are a bit my thoughts on Inter Rao Letuva. Sorry if I didn't address some of the political or social situation. I think there are other channels that do that way better than I do. I'm not educated enough on that. My 2,000 euros that I had in this company doesn't compare to anything that is happening there. So maybe I provided some information for someone also owning the stock. If you like this content, consider leaving a like and subscribing. It helps a lot to keep me motivated. And also comment if you want to see more of this or more of that, what kind of my content you like more, so I know where to go. Thank you. Okay, well, take care everyone, be safe, and see you on the next one.